You know, when you have something that you like and it gets improved, do you guys like it when it actually improves? Or do you guys like it when it stays the exact same for the entire time that you play it? No? You don't like that? Well, this guy does, and we're gonna talk about him or her. I don't know the. Yeah, I think it's a him. Um, but this guy doesn't think that No Man's Sky was rightfully updated, and we're gonna talk about that today. So, let's go through the article. It might be a long video, my first. Uh, my first. But we're gonna just talk about this article and see what we got. Alright? Now, this is a article from Digitally Downloaded, and the title is "Game Developers Need to Stop Listening to Quote-Unquote Fans" by Opinion by Matt S. So we already got, negative vibes, man, negative, but we already got some that, it's not very popular opinion. I mean, a lot of people would say, yeah, improve the game, but no, this guy doesn't think that that should happen. Um, so yeah, let's just get started. Over the last week, we've seen a lot of stuff in the press regarding the launch of No Man's Sky Next, a massive near re-release of a game that was first released back in 2016. Amongst a hailstorm of virulent criticism, some of the stories coming from Hello Games lead Sean Murray regarding the feedback of the team received. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Are nothing short of horrific. Okay, okay. Tell me this is if you're saying this in regards of the next the next update, then tell me this. How is unrelenting, restless, positive support from the fans saying, I cannot wait to buy this game again because of this update, or I cannot wait to pick up this game again and play it for another 100 hours? How is that horrific? I don't get that. And maybe the criticisms that were for next were horrific to you, but I don't know. But I don't know about you, but saying you're gay doesn't horrify me. Is this your first time on the internet? Please tell me. But if you're in regards to the launch, yes, maybe saying you're gay is horrific to you. But people saying that the game is bad and listing out reasons is not horrific. If it's criticism, then then how is it horrific? It's not criticism if someone's just saying you're gay, I hate this game. That's not criticism. A criticism is a reason, a valuable, viable reason to not like something, or, well, in this case, the game. So, if it's criticism, then how is that horrific? Unless you're talking about the quote-unquote death threats he received. But, once again, welcome to the internet. Everybody has to deal with that. That's not horrific. It's not good, though, but it's not horrific. Everyone has to deal with it. Unless you're just some special snowflake who just never deals with that and you're just super lucky. And if you are, then I wish to be you. Because I don't like to... I'd like to never know, like, the experience of getting a death threat. That'd be nice. Riddle be this, fuckwad. If you're competent enough to make a game, you go make it yourself. And when you get criticism, are you gonna still call it horrific? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Let's continue this article so I can get done with this, publish the video, and go back to bed. Let's do that, shall we? For context, No Man's Sky was pitched as an infinite space exploration and survival game, procedurally generated, comma. It aimed to provide players with billions of planets to explore. Actually, it's quintillions, but whatever. To explore on their journey to the center of the universe. It actually delivered that. In my review of the game, I mentioned how much I loved it for the lonely existentialist thought that it encouraged to me. Jesus Christ, I'm only halfway through the second paragraph down and I'm already 13 minutes in. Alright, anyways. So yeah, the game was more or less pitched as an infinite space exploration survival game with factions, multiplayer, and giant sandworms and, freighters crashing into the surface. You can destroy freighters, all this other stuff. They lied about everything in the game, basically. And it was a very each planet that was barren kind of reflected the game a little bit if you think about it, because it was empty with no content. But now it's an amazing, or at least in my opinion, a great game that I enjoy playing a lot, and it is probably one my favorite space survival games. But I haven't played Star Citizen yet, so that might be my favorite. But No Man's Sky is a great game now, at least in my opinion. And if you liked it for its lonely outlook, then kudos to you. Don't play the game. Don't complain in an article because you don't want the game to change. Don't write a, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 paragraph article with a big butt in the middle, us explaining how you didn't want, the game didn't deserve the change. We didn't want that. No, that's just you, bud. Don't complain in an article that is all over Twitter now, actually. So, yeah, let's continue, boys, shall we? To me, No Man's Sky had a truly unique tone, different to what we'd seen in any other game set in space. And that tone was in part created through the nothingness of the gameplay. You were a lonely wanderer that didn't have much to do beyond mining for the resources that you needed to push onto the next planet. That was clearly deliberate. No Man's Sky wasn't trying to be just another space game with action and shooty bangs and the multiplayer heroics. It was trying to be a video game equivalent of Samuel Beckett's Waiting for God, what the fuck is that word? Got it? Or one of Jean Paul's okay, novels, satire, son soup. All right, yeah, that was bad. My bad. I can't words right now. I usually can't words, but my bad for. Anyways, let's talk about the rest of this paragraph. All right. Okay. First of all, the game wasn't trying to be just another space game or trying to be an empty exploration game. They marketed it as a amazingly fun space survival game where you can team up with your friends and go anywhere in the universe that you want or build whatever you want. That's kind of how they marketed it. And you can fight freighters, go on planets, fight giant creatures. It was supposed to be an action game. That's what they marketed it as. So saying that it's not wasn't trying to be just another space game is to a certain degree wrong. It was trying to be with a shooty bang, as you describe it, with multiplayer heroics. It was trying to be like that because that's how they marketed it. How it was, though, is not that. It was a barren wasteland reflecting the planets that were also barren wastelands with nothing to do. All you could really do is walk around, get resources that were everywhere, and then go to any planet and just repeat that cycle. It was not that fun. But now it's very it's been very improved. And I don't understand why you don't see that this is better for the game and for your experience, unless you just like having walking simulators. I guess from this kind of article, you got the vibe of I enjoy playing walking simulators a lot. That's my favorite type of game. That's what I see from you. All right, that's not bad, but it's also not good either. You need to have other taste in games besides just one type of game. I play all kinds of games. I play Battlefield, Witcher, No Man's Sky, Warframe, all of these different types of games. I even play MOBAs. I play Smite. I played Paragon when it was still You know, available, rest in peace, Paragon. God bless your non-existent soul. But that game, all these games, I really like, and they're all very different. But I don't. The difference between me and you is I don't, for one, the two differences. I don't complain when a game gets like it gets improved. Improved. I complain when there is something that legitimately affects my gameplay. This update did not. You don't have to do the base building. You don't have to do the freighter stuff. You don't have to do this main quest. You don't have to do any of this. It's all optional. So why are you complaining? When something's optional and it's added to the game, even if it would hurt my experience if I turned it on or had done it, I don't complain. You know why? Because it's optional. Not you don't have to do it. If I want to stick to the playstyle I always have, then I just stick to my playstyle. Maybe other people complain, but that's them. I don't complain about something that was added that's optional. And I certainly don't complain about something that adds more to the experience and something more that you can do. So if you ever get bored of the relentless exploration, then you can go do that. I don't complain about those kinds of things. Maybe you do, which is what you're doing, or at least what you're going to do. I don't think that complaining about something that was added that is optional, that makes the game more worth playing because of something else to do besides just the relentless exploration. I don't think that complaining about that is such a good thing to do, at least in my opinion. I would complain, like in Paragon, the reason why the game shut down is because they added a new card system, or at least they kind of revamped it, and nobody liked it. I didn't like it, but it wasn't optional. It was permanent, so I complained about it. They didn't change it. They didn't have the budget, so they shut the game down. Excuse me. And the reason why it shut down, not because it was optional, because it was permanent and it was mandatory. You couldn't fucking do anything else except for that. If you wanted to actually be good in the game, you didn't just say fuck cards, I didn't want them. No, you had to get cards and put them on your guy as the match progressed. That's how you stayed good. I tried to do that without cards. And dude, I died more times than I could ever had in that game. You want to know why? Because I forcibly rejected a mandatory system that destroyed my experience. And since it was mandatory and nobody liked it, that's why the game shut down. No Man's Sky is going to flourish because of these optional things that you can do. You don't even have to do them. They're optional, completely 100% optional. You won't ever have to. If you don't want to do them, that's fine. You don't have to. They're completely optional, and you can go on your merry way exploring the newly added. Why are you even complaining anyways? This kind of even enhances the experience that you're going through. Most of the planets that used to be just barren wastelands, now they're actually flourishing with unique plants and landscapes, at least most of them, and they're completely filled with new stuff to do, like and more elements that you can gather to help you on your journey. So why are you complaining in the first place? It enhances your experience and the optional experience. So why are you complaining? Unless you like staring at basically one texture the entire game, or one static mesh the whole game, because every planet was the same. And if you like that, then why don't you just revert back to that update like that? Like, you can just put your game back to that update. At least you can do that with some games. Because this is not like Call of Duty. It's not where it is multiplayer and you have to play multiplayer. Or at least your game has to be updated to play multiplayer. Yeah, that's like this game, but you can play the base game without the multiplayer. And you can play the base game without the updates. That's what you can do. You can do that. At least if you can figure out how. So why are you complaining about something that's for one optional and something that enhances your personal experience, the walking simulator experience? And why are you complaining when if you don't like it, you can always revert back? I don't understand this article. Why are you complaining? The title is game developers need to stop listening to fans. Why? There's no reason they shouldn't. It enhances their game. Listening to criticism is something good for the company. It enhances the game experience. It enhances your experience as a game developer, and it is all around better to listen to criticism than to ignore it. I just don't understand this article, man. Let's just continue on, alright? Let's go, boys. No Man's Sky was never going to be as popular or mainstream as Mass Effect or Halo because of that theme. Just as the number of people who have read, much less seen a performance of Waiting for Godot is dwarfed by the more popular theater plays, let alone cinema. The number of that sentence did not make any fucking sense to me. I could not get anything from that. But let's continue on. The number of people that No Man's Sky would appeal to would be limited to the kind of people that like their games, a bit artsy and reflective. Yeah, I guess. Unfortunately, a series of PR bungles from Hello Games and Sony, the publisher, led people to believe that No Man's Sky would be something mainstream because it was marketed that way. It was supposed to be something mainstream. Basically, it's supposed to be where it was back then, like how they marketed it's almost where it is right now. Put in the sandworms, put in the crashable freighters that you can crash into planets, and then there you go. That would be basically what it is now. It has the amazing Earth planets. It has all of the other stuff. It has like multiplayer Earth-like planets, ginormous creatures, improved AI, multiple types of guns, multiple types of ships, buyable freighters, buyable fleets, fucking attackable freighters. You can form up in your squad and attack a freighter. You can almost just completely destroy a freighter, almost. And there's base building, all this other stuff. So why are you saying that because of stuff that they decided that you're saying that it's like EA, like they market their game to be amazing, but then when you play their game, it's just full of microtransactions. That's what you're basically saying that they're doing, but they're not. They marketed that game. They didn't lead people to believe that. They marketed it very directly to that. All of their trailers showed something like that. Almost every single one of their trailers. And so did almost every single one of their screenshots back in the day. So why are you saying that because of PR bungles that led people to believe that the game was supposed to be mainstream, even though it was supposed to be mainstream from the get-go? Did you not watch the trailers? Whatever. They started to play. Fuck. Then they started to play. Realized that it was a weird experiment of a game. It wasn't. Oh, okay. And collectively spat the dummy. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's talk about this. First of all, the game was marketed to a very specific point. It was marketed to be very actiony, adventure-y, multiplayer-y, and very thrillery. It wasn't supposed to be I mean, that's what it ended up like, but at first, how they marketed it, how they said it was going to be, they didn't imply stuff that would lead people to think that the game was going to be that way. No, they directly said, this is how it's going to be. You can do this, you can do that, you can do that. But it wasn't that at launch. But it is that now. So, it wasn't supposed to be a barren game. It wasn't a experiment. They wanted this game to be something. This game really meant the world to them. Evident by the fact that they are continuing the game. They are continuing progress of the game, so it's not an experiment. unless you're thinking of an experiment as it was a stunt to get a lot of money so they could continue the game. If that's what you're talking about, then yeah, I agree with you. I think that they started the game because they had a deadline from Sony. I think that they just wanted to get all the money they could so they could support the game and improve it to what they wanted it to be at first, but they released the version that they had so they could get that money. They lied about it so they could get the money to make it that, you know? That's what I think. And if that's what you're saying that this experiment was, I agree with you there. But if you're saying in this experiment like, oh, let's try this style, I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that at all. I think that they actually really wanted this game to be something, and that's why they're continuing it. But that is my thought on it. That's just what I think, you know? So, let's continue with the next paragraph. Jesus Christ, I'm like 1 or 2/3 of the way done, and this video is already 20 minutes. I share this on Twitter, I swear to God. If I only get like 2 or 3 views from this video, I'm going to punch something, probably nothing. But you get the yeah. All right, let's continue this. Yep. I'm not going to get into the years long debate. Wait a sec. How is it a debate? Oh my God! We know he lied. Okay. We know for a fact that he lied. He said that other players could see you, but you couldn't see yourself. There were no players. He said there was multiplayer. There was no multiplayer. He said you could land on asteroids. There was no asteroids. He said, what can you do with the freighters? He said a lot. You couldn't do shit! You couldn't do anything! There was nothing that you could do with the freighters at launch. What are you talking about? A debate? It is not a debate. It is known fact that he lied about the game. It is known fact. Whether that was to get money so that he could support the game as a quote-unquote experiment, as you call it, or whether it is just he didn't have the time to finish it the way he wanted it to be, or whether he just wanted to get a bunch of money so he could just get money, and then he decided later that he wanted to continue the game. That is up for debate. But what is not up for debate is the fact that he lied. He lied about the game. He in interviews lied straight to the interviewer's face about what was in the game. That was not in the game. It is in some of the stuff is in the game now, but it's not in the game. No, you can't. You can't land on asteroids. You couldn't play multiplayer. And at launch, you could do little to nothing with the freighters. You couldn't even land on them. You're landing them. You could do nothing except for attack them or defend them, which is pretty fucking useless. That was it. Attack or defend. That was all you could do. 2 things is not a lot, Sean Murray. Jesus fucking Christ. And I'm gonna show you a couple of video clips just to prove my point. All right? Kips. Yeah, kips. I say kips now, not clips. Kips. All right. Let's continue on with this fucking abortion after I show you some kips. Jesus fuck.
Will I get bored playing this game?
No. So this is a giant sandbox that we're making, a universe-sized sandbox. It's full of choices. Like here, we're at the boundary between 2 warring factions. I could join in, I could take sides.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you grief other players?
A little bit. Our system.
Do we ever get to see ourselves?
No, you don't see yourself, so the only way for you to know what you look like is for somebody else to, to see you.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes, but the chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size of what we're building.
Wow.
Can you customize the look of your character?
Sort of. Every one of these points of light is a sun. And every one of those suns has its own solar system with planet-sized planets orbiting around it. In every solar system is fully destructible. Those guys are the Sentinels.
When we talked previously, you had said that you took certain laws of the universe our universe into effect. So if a planet is too far or too close to the sun, there's just no life there.
Right.
There may be liquid, but it may not be water.
Yeah.
Things like that.
So do you often go to planets and you're just like, whoa, this is just a total dud?
No, not that often. Sometimes.
How much interaction is there with other people playing No Man's Sky?
Those were AI,
Yeah.
those wingmen. But you could encounter other players. The reality is, the likelihood of that is tiny. It's a planet, and it's kind of rotating around the sun and stuff.
Can you land on a comet?
Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
Do the animals eat each other?
Yeah, they do.
Easaloys is near the solar system's sun, so its surface is quite toasty. Some stubborn life forms have learned to survive here, but you won't unless you've crafted enough tech upgrades to be out in the sun. Bellari 5 is furthest from the system's sun and is thus a bit chilly. You'll need thermal protection lest you get frostbite and die.
Will the game be fun?
Yes.
Well, if you had a great standing with that alien you just saw, would he just unlock this for you and let you in?
Well, normally what you would do is you would hack into this. That would be the best way.
Okay.
But
Sweet.
And this is a Korvax ship. So just like that guy I was talking to, that will have been bought from one of his race, and they're a scientific race. So this ship is kind of more scientific.
Yeah, I don't see any crazy cannons or lasers on that bad boy.
So this is more for somebody who would be an explorer. But that could be an aim for me, right? To build up my ship enough.
Like a fast, nimble ship that can just swoop in, take out some pods like that.
And then get away
get
before
out.
the police start paying me attention. Different races have different attributes. So some are scientific, some are kind of combative.
Right.
And depending on how I'm playing, I might want to kind of make an allegiance with one or other, you know. So for more significance that you could do, so if you try and destroy an entire space station or something like that, then that feels a lot more significant, or take out a whole fleet or something like that.
Wow.
Does any more have to be said? Tell me, does any more have to be said from Sean Murray himself? He lied. It is not a debate. He lied. It is that is non-negotiable. He lied. That's a bad boy right there. Where the fuck were we? Apparently that was justification enough to send him death threats. Okay. I'm just gonna guess this is your first time on the internet, and that's all I have to say about that. What I will say is that people expected multiplayer and a far more detailed single-player game than what they got, and PR is absolutely to blame for that PR for that. Period. PR's job is to make sure that people know what to expect from a game, so they're not disappointed. This kind of contradicts yourself, because earlier you said it was basically PR mental gymnastics that led people to believe. No, he directly said, this is what's going to be here. He directly said, you cannot fight from two warring factions. That's never happened. You cannot land on comets. You can't play, well, you couldn't play multiplayer. And there were no giant dinosaurs that looked like Bronto or Brachiosauruses. There was no amazingly hyper-realistic Earth-like planets, and I mean hyper-realistic kind of colloquially, because, like, it's just not really hyper-realistic graphics, but hyper-realistic planets. So, it's not really, but you know what I mean. But the planet that they showed with the forest and stuff, that looked like an Earth-like planet. That was amazing. I wish I could have seen something like that. Nowhere in the game until a few updates later. This was not an experiment. This was not PR mental gymnastics. They deliberately said this is what's going to be in the game, so they could get money. Whether that's for good intentions, nefarious intentions, or just they didn't have enough time to build the game. That is debatable. Whether he lied or not, or whether they deliberately said it or not, is non-negotiable. It is not. They deliberately said things that would get people to buy their game, so they could get money. That was their end game. They've built it on from there, but that was their end game. In other words, I don't hold it against players for being disappointed with their experience. Then why the hell are you making this article? Okay. Anyways, with No Man's Sky, so long as they weren't one of those who win then abuse and harass the developers. Okay, that's wrong. That is wrong, and I agree with you there. But come on. Is this the first time on the internet for you? Like, Jesus Christ, get over it. This is the third time you've mentioned that in the first, 4 paragraphs? Anyways, they clearly expected something different to what they got. And I don't think that's fair on them. On the developers or on the players. Okay, yes, it is bad. The developers fucked up. They did a bad. They did a no-no. That we can agree on. Okay? Is that... Can I go now? Oh, there's more? Okay, let's go. But the game should have been left in its original state. Why? Why? Everything that was added is optional. Why? I really want to scream right now, but my dad's downstairs. Jesus Christ. Okay, the game should have been left in its original state. Yes, it disappointed some people, and I'm sure. Oh, okay, never mind. I was okay. I thought okay. Let me just read this. And I'm sure plenty swear off ever buying Hello Games ever again. I thought he said that. I'm sure plenty of people were swearing. I was about to say, like, what? Are you? Is this the first time in the planet, bro? No. Thank God he did actually say that. Jesus Christ, I would have. Holy shit. Okay, let's continue this. But the developers should have stuck to its vision. It wasn't... They didn't finish the game in time, so they released the base version that they had. That was it. Either that, or they wanted money, so they released the base version. Either that, or they wanted money, so they could continue the game, so they released the base version. What is that so hard to understand? It's not that hard. And the consumers should have left it. Have let it. Wait, what? You don't get to tell me what I should have done. No. That's your problem. Whether you like the game or not, that's your problem. You don't say, you should have done this. No. That's your problem, not mine. I like the game how it is now. You don't. That sounds like a what is your that sounds like a Matt S problem, not a community problem. All right, Bucko. Jesus Christ, you don't get to tell people what they should have done. How do you have the gall to make an article saying that the updates shouldn't have come, and then tell consumers what they should and shouldn't have done? Jesus. Do you read your sentences when you type them? Do okay. Gotta go calm down real quick so I can continue this article without stuttering every 5 seconds. Alright, I am back from my journey of sitting in my chair calming down. Where was I? The computer. Okay, yeah. Subsequent updates to No Man's Sky, as well as the features promised in Next, have significantly diluted the message and theme and aesthetics of the original game. No, it hasn't. No, it has not. No, it has not. If you want to play the game as you think it was intended, or as you were, then you can do that. That is completely fine with you. That is your playstyle. If you want to command fleets, build bases, build cities, do all this other stuff, that is on you, bro. That is your option. That what this makes this game awesome. Everything in the entire game is optional. You can do the story, that's optional. You can buy freighters, that's optional. You can build bases, that's optional. You can explore, that's optional. Everything you can do is optional. Okay? It has not diluted the game's message. The game's message is that you are alone, and you need to find other people, or at least other things. That is at least the message that I got. That is the theme that I got from it, is that you are alone. Go meet some friends. Go out there, Tiger. Go do it yourself. Alright, that is what I got from this game. And that wasn't too fun for me, because there was nothing that you could do once you met those aliens. So I kind of quit, waited for the updates, and then when Next came out, I have sunk over 30 hours into it already. It has not diluted the game's message. I still feel the same message, there's just more to do there. You understand? No? No, well, okay. Whatever. I guess this video is a waste then. Time to patch it up. Wait, no, there's more. Okay, let's go. Before we continue, I just wanted to say that I'm probably not going to read the entire article. I'm just going to read until I cannot take this bullshit anymore. So this is probably just to keep the time down, because if I were to review this article, it's going to take like over 2 hours, and I don't feel like being here for 2 hours. Or, well, to you it's going to be like 2 hours. For me, it's going to be like 3. It's already been an hour for me just doing, well, it's been like an hour and a half just doing this. So, you know, I don't really feel like doing that. So, I'm probably just gonna keep it to a minimum until I get too angry, and then I'll probably just be like, alright, see you guys later. Alright, so that's a warning for whenever that time comes. Okay, let's continue on. And now it has morphed into just another space game. No, it has not. It is very unique from Star Citizen, Empyrean, Mass Effect, fucking Space Engineer. This is very different. There is RPG elements, survival elements. There is more planets, first of all. It's all procedurally generated. That you don't get that. There's giant. You don't build capital ships. The building is more like Ark than anything. It's not like Empyrean where it's very it's blocky, and let's just say that. It's not like Space Engineers where it's also very blocky, and it has no RPG elements. It's just you build stuff and shoot other things. Okay. It's not like those games. It takes all of the themes from almost every space game and merges it together. That is unique. Every space game has, at least that's out right now, has its own unique tone and setting. What No Man's Sky does, at least how I perceive it, is it takes all of that and merges it into one. That is what it does. At least that's how I perceive it. So, yeah. It doesn't really tell us anything anymore because it's too busy trying to be fun. That's the point of a game. The game that's okay. That is the point of a game. The game's point. That is why games exist, because it's good for money, and it's good because it gives people entertainment. What is entertainment? That is what fun is. And games are always trying to be fun. That's how games are fun. If a game was meant to be boring, then nobody would play the fucking game. Nobody would buy it. Nobody would play a game that's boring to every single person. If I played a game where all I did was stand in a room and stare at a door, I would get a refund immediately. I would not like that game. You know why I would get a refund and that company would lose money? Because nobody likes boring games. Everybody wants a game to be fun. So saying that it's too busy trying to be fun, you're missing the point. Maybe I'm missing the point, but here's how I'm thinking of what you're saying. It's too busy trying to be fun, as in, like, it's too busy on trying to be a game rather than focusing on its core audience. At least that's maybe what you're saying, or maybe you're saying it's just you're being stupid and it's just flat out it's too busy trying to be a game that's fun. Either way, that's the point of a game. It's the point of the game is the point of all games is to be as fun as it can be. Okay? That is the point of a game. Add the fact that you have fun in quotation marks says that you do not like the game and you do not find it fun now, even though, like I've said, every single thing you can do is optional. You don't have to do that. Everything you can do is optional. Maybe it'll take you a lot longer to do stuff than if that without the optional stuff, but that's all part of the experience. So, what are you complaining about? Let's continue on. Here's the great secret with art that people tend to forget when it comes to games. Okay, I'm gonna go get coffee because I'm tired. Okay, I'm gonna go get coffee. I'll be back in like later. Okay, just hold out for about 0.3 seconds. I'll be back then. Yep. Okay, hold on. Here's the great secret with art that people tend to forget when it when it comes to games. You, as the audience, don't have to like everything. What? Holy shit! You just said something that counteracts your entire article here. You said the audience does not have to like everything. With no self-awareness. You understand, Matt S., that you don't have to like everything. You're basically saying, don't complain. You don't have to like everything. Because you want the game to be left in its original state. But you don't understand that you are complaining about something that you don't like. So, what I have to say to that is, Mr. Matt S., you don't have to like everything. So shut the fuck up. Jesus. Whew, alright. If you do like everything, that means that everything has been homogenized. Okay. To the point where it could be no longer art. Wait! If you like everything in the game, that does not mean that the developers of the game specifically engineered it to be likable by you specifically. That means that you just have the taste that this game presents matches with every single thing that you like. At least everything that's in the game. You like everything in the game. That means that you like the game. Alright? But this guy's saying that if you like everything in the game, then it's no longer art. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. What makes games art is that people like games. What makes games art is that things that are eye candy, things that people like to listen to, things that people like to experience. It's art. And if you don't like it, then it's not. Then if nobody likes games, then that makes it not art. But if somebody likes everything, that makes it the best piece of art that it can be. Do you not understand, Matt S. do not understand. Jeez. Ugh. This person doesn't understand that you, as the player, should enjoy what you, as the player, like, and that he has no self-awareness. This person does not have the right to command consumers what they should and shouldn't decide for themselves. This person also doesn't think that if somebody likes everything about something that it's not art, especially if it is art. Games have been known as art for a long time, and this person thinks that if you like everything about a game, then it's not art. That makes no sense. The companies do not engineer everything to be tailored to one specific person or a specific type of person. They unless you're talking about, a demographic of gamers and what they like. But I'm talking about, like, personality-wise. If you like everything in the game, does not mean that the company specifically engineered it for, hey, Mr. Johnny over here deserves all of this, so we're gonna make this game everything to what he likes. No. And if that was still the case, that would not make it not art. If you don't like something, that does not make it not art. If you like everything about something, that does not make it not art. You know? I don't understand where this person is coming from. Maybe he's saying that it's stale or lackluster of content, but how he's saying it is that it's like, if you like something, then it's not art, is basically what he's saying. Because in his mind, if you like something, almost everything about something, then that means that the company that made that specifically tailored it for you. This is not McDonald's. You don't choose what you want in the game to a degree. This is not McDonald's. The person that buys the game does not choose. One person does not choose, hey, I need this in this game, so each copy of No Man's Sky is different. This is not McDonald's. That's not how this works. The community decides. The community for the game decides, hey, we want this. And then another side of the community says, no, we don't. Whichever side is gets more people to join their, what they're saying, and the more voices are heard from that side, that gives it more of a chance for that thing to be in the game. So when someone is on the side of something being added to the game or something being overhauled, and they like everything that has been added or about the game, that makes it no longer art. I don't understand that. That does not make sense. It has morphed into pure product play. Okay. It is no longer challenging or stimulating because it's too concerned with upsetting. Wait. It's too concerned with upset. Okay, yeah. It no longer shares a message because it can't be sure the audience it will be respective to the message. That sentence did not seem right. It became bland, empty content. Wait. What? The game at the beginning was empty content. Now you're saying that now that it has more stuff, that it's more empty than ever and bland. Is it really though? Is it really that bland? I mean, it is pretty extensive. Maybe it's repetitive, but is it really that bland? Like, really? Is it that dumb and dull? I don't know. It seemed I was enjoying it a lot, and a lot of other people are enjoying it. The reviews went from almost overwhelmingly negative to mixed, and now maybe positive, or slightly positive. I'm not sure. The recent reviews are very positive, almost overwhelmingly positive by Steam standards. So it seems like a lot of people, the majority opinion is that they are liking the new editions and they think it's very extensive and vibrant. But you are saying it's bland and dull. But you don't give a reason. You don't give a reason. I'm saying it's very extensive because there is a lot of things to do. It's optional, for one. You don't have to do it. It doesn't infringe on your gameplay. It is very extensive. You can build on freighters, you can build on the ground, and you can build either preset buildings, kind of, or like you can build your own type of aesthetic building that you want. You can also build underwater bases. You can build freighter bases. And this seems, with the base building, it's at least for me, it seems very vibrant because there's just so much you can do with it. There's so much possibility there. But with the rest of it, there's different elements that were added to the game. Some of them were reworked and renamed, and the crafting is a little bit different. The fucking there's refiners now. It's yes, there's a forge or refiner in every survival game, but it's not really the same. It is similar concept, but it's in most games it's like, let's say Conan or Ark, you just slap some metal in there and then you just turn it on and boom, there you go. But in No Man's Sky, you actually get to choose. You get to choose how much metal you like. Let's say pure iron. You get to choose how much you want it to make, or how much basically energy you want it to expend, and that's a little different than most games, at least that I've played. So that's something unique for me there. And then with the base building, there's just so much possibility there. Like you can make sky, you should be able to make sky bases if you want, if you really think about it. Should be able to make like underwater bases, freighter bases. You can get multiple frigates. You can get on them for some reason. I don't know what the point of that is. I actually haven't explored most of the update yet, but from what I have experienced, it is pretty extensive and fun, and I like that. But this person, Matt S, is saying that it's not fun, it's dull and bland, but he doesn't give any reason behind it. But let's continue on and see if oh my Jesus Christ, I cannot talk today, and see if he has anything else to say. If it gets too annoying, then I'm just gonna stop reading the article and then just do a final little segment where I talk, and then that'll be that. But if it's not too bad, then I'll continue reading. So let's try this, okay? Unfortunately, with video games, the dominant trend is towards content. Well, that's the kind of the point. There's the more content of games that games have that makes them more fun. I don't understand the point you're conveying here. It's too easy to change what's in a game via a patch or update, and the dynamic between players and the game developers means that there's now the expectation that creators will change things that suit the fans. Okay, don't like ending of a game, don't like the ending of a game, embark on a campaign to harass and terrify the event. I can't. I can't. I'm done. The point of a game is to be full of content, vibrant, and fun. He is saying that the game is bad because it's trying to be fun. He is saying that it's not art because people like it. He is saying that because fans may outcry because a ending is horrible or because a feature is bad, he's saying it's bad that fans have a right to choose what they want in a developer's game. If they buy it with their dollar and it's a bad experience, he's saying it's bad that consumers have the right to choose that a game, like a add-on in a game or a feature in the game, should or shouldn't be there and vote with their dollar to choose that that feature should be taken out or stayed in. And he's saying it's bad that that happens to a very malleable and game. This is why I'm done. I cannot. I do. I refuse to read an article with this kind of mindset. This person is tried and true authoritarian. I saw it. I saw a glimpse of it when I saw the consumers bit, and then I saw another glimpse of it now when it said that it's too busy trying to be fun, and I saw the full glimpse of it now. I do not like these kind of people. They try to tell people what to think, how they should act, and what is basically what they that cause they basically like to say, hey, follow this thing because it's you have to. That's the only reason they give. They make declarations. They say, hey, this is bad. No reason. Just because it is. And they think very anti-consumerly. That was not a word. Maybe it is. I don't know. But they like to think this way, and that's why I'm done. I cannot. I just don't. I don't want the rest of my day to be negative because I reviewed an article that was very anti-consumer, pro-authoritarian, and it got my balls crushed, metaphorically. I don't know where I came out with that, but what whatever. This person, this specific person, doesn't like it when things change, especially if it's optional. He doesn't like it when the fans of a game can vote with their dollar and decide if a feature is bad or not, or whether it deserves to be in the game or not, or whether it's hurting the game. He thinks he should decide. At least this is how I think that this is how I think that this is how this person thinks, is that he thinks that he should decide what is and isn't art. He thinks that he should decide, or at least the developers have full control. This is, I'd wager he's left too, because this is on their side of thinking. They think the government should be in full power of the country, and he thinks that the developers should be in full power of a game. But since I'm right wing, I don't think that way. I think that the government should be controlling of all the mandatory things, but the consumer and the common man should have a lot of power and say on who's our representatives and who deserves, or not deserves, but who should be in a spot of power. And with games, at least I think that the consumer should be able to vote with their dollar what is and isn't in a game, because that is what makes games art and better, is it's always malleable. Not in every game, but most games like these and online games, they're very malleable. Like, let's say there's a rework that everybody hates. If there's an outcry, then the developers will change that, and it will make the game better in the long run. If if a developer just says fuck you, we're not changing anything in the game, bye, the game's not going to go anywhere. Games thrive and survive because of how the developers treat their fans. That's how games work. No Man's Sky would not be as big as it is today, or as fun as it is today, in my opinion, if the developers just said, fuck you, we're not doing anything with this game, bye, see you later, boys. Enjoy your piece of shit game that has nothing to do. But this guy apparently did. So that's why I think this guy is wrong, and that's why I really don't want to read the rest of this article. This has already taken me long enough. I started this at like 2 o'clock, and now it's 5. So I don't want this to be an all day thing. I like enjoying my day. Thank you very much. So I'm just gonna do some final edits and then end this video. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. Yeah, that was a lip smack. I hope you enjoyed that amazing lip smack, if you could hear it, if it registered in the mic. But I will look for some more stuff to review, and tell me what you thought of this in the comments below. If you disagree with me, please tell me. I'd like to know. But thank you guys for watching. I'm Marcock, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, home dogs. Haha. But no, that's bad. Yeah, that was cringy. That will never do that again. Alright, anyway, see you back. Continue.